Bonjour et bienvenue sur le plateau de ASYS TV. Nous sommes ici en direct de la cité internationale de Rabat à l'occasion de la 8e édition du sommet des étudiants et de la jeunesse africaine, Africa Student and Youth Summit. I'm really pleased to receive today Mr. Dr. Kim G. Zietlow, Senior Project Manager, OCO Global from Germany. Welcome.
My pleasure.
So you just finished an amazing panel. We're talking about what is artificial intelligence, what are the prospects and challenges for Africa. The panel was really rich. It takes a long time, I think so. So can you explain what Global do? What is your role in your contribution to Africa and to help and to develop the African people?
Well, so first of all, I was very excited to come, very pleased about the invitation to come to this event. I really didn't have to think twice about coming because now the whole context of the event, that it is an all-African event, so there are representatives from all over the continent, which is unique. Then that you have speakers and government officials, private officials, but also students in one place coming together. That is a very special opportunity. And then the topic of artificial intelligence has such great influence and implications on the future of the societies, of the economies, and basically how countries will live and will cooperate in the future. So, I mean, a lot of these points were touched in the panel. We couldn't discuss everything. We could have gone on forever, I guess. And that just reflects the importance and also the need to talk about these issues.
Alors, let's stay about the AI because it's, I love the subject. All the countries are investing a lot in AI, but Morocco, Africa, so Morocco, we are really late about this, and we didn't invest, and I didn't heard any investment from Africa to the AI. Do you think that could be a problem for us in the few years coming?
I think you're right. Africa is lagging behind in that sense. But a couple of examples were named. A couple of countries are taking their stand and now giving away the budgets to foster the right forms of education, to create the right systems, where especially young people have opportunities to learn about new technologies. Coding institutes are founded, and this all goes the right direction. So even though other countries all over the world might be a step ahead, the right measures are taken right now. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't rather focus on the future and say what needs to be done in order to catch up. Mm-hmm. And still, it's a long way to go. New technologies will be with us. They will dominate soon our lives even more than they do it already today. So in that sense, it's not too late, even though right now it might seem a bit like this.
But all that things need money. So do you think that the priority for the government will be to finance those projects? Or how, for example, your company can help them to change their mindset?
Yeah, so that's a very good point. The money has to come from somewhere. So when it comes to money, it's always the question of who benefits from it. And in this case, it's very clear. You have basically two groups. On the one hand side, it's the government. It's a strategic topic for many different reasons. And it's the companies that directly benefit from developments in that sector, how they can optimize their business models, how they can create new business models, but also how they can stay competitive in a global market. Mm-hmm.
Amci was one of the organizers of the Africa Students and Youth Summit with the ASYS, you know, All Africa Students. You told me that you follow Amci. What is exactly the way that you follow this kind of organization and also the same organization in Africa?
Well, in our business as a global consultancy for trade and investment promotion, we usually work with governments all over the world on a national level, on a regional level, but also on a city level, on a communal level, in order to support in terms of economic development. And then we work with different government actors in the field from each country to country. It depends which organization it is, in order to, on the one hand side, figure out what is the right strategy for the country, what needs to be done in terms of investments, which sectors, which clusters, for instance, need to be built, what are the most important technologies that need to be fostered, and that's, for instance, where artificial intelligence can come in. And because we work all over the world, we can see that this is not a regional issue in certain continents or certain regions of the world. New technology development is a hot topic all over the place. And some regions are faster than others, and they can capitalize on this speed, and then others just have to catch up then.
What is your recommendation for Morocco? What kinds of sector should we develop, in your point of view? I mean, because each country have specific sectors. We don't have petrol, we don't have gas oil, but we have agriculture. What do you think about our sectors?
To be honest, I don't have the blueprint ready for Morocco. But what's always important is, and that was also part of the discussion today, that the right approach must be a specific one that is tailor-made for each location. So each country is different, and even the regions within each country are different. So when you ask me for the sectors that needs to be developed, it's not that we can look at other countries and we want to follow their model. We cannot look, for instance, towards Europe or the US and say we want to become such a country. We want to create the new Google or the new Facebook or the new Siemens as an industrial company. Probably that doesn't work for historic reasons. So it's rather that the focus should be on the resources and the capabilities and the potential that the country has. And the answers might be completely different what we think at first glance. So that, and also might be completely different from our neighbors. In that case, for instance, Tunisia or Algeria might focus on completely different sectors because it just makes sense for them. So, and that's the exercise that has to be done for Morocco, especially then the government agency and the government in general has to develop this country strategy.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kim Zietlow. Hope that you will have a good time here in our country and enjoy the 8th edition of Africa Student and Youth Summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.